8 years on the job, most of that on nights. And look, you see a lot on midnights. Domestic fights, drunk drivers, break-ins, overdoses. After a while, the calls blur together. You show up, you separate people, you write a report, you move on. But some calls stick. This one happened late October, a couple of years back. 20:40 in the morning. Dispatch tones me out. 911 hangup. Caller reported hearing a woman screaming from inside the house next door. And when dispatch called back, she'd stopped. I was 5 minutes out. Quiet residential street. Nice neighborhood, nothing crazy. Light rain coming down, just enough to make the pavement shine under the streetlights. The house was dark. 2 stories, small front porch. And as I got closer, I noticed the front door was slightly cracked open. Okay, that's not nothing. I radioed dispatch. Open door, on scene, requesting another unit. Nearest backup, 10 minutes out. I was alone. I knocked, announced myself. Nothing. Knocked again, louder. With a report of screaming and a cracked door, I had exigent circumstances. I pushed it open and stepped inside. Living room looked totally normal, clean, tidy, no signs of struggle. I cleared it, moved to the kitchen. Clean counters, sink full of dishes. And on the kitchen table, a glass of water. Still full. Someone had been sitting there recently. I cleared the bathroom, guest bedroom. Then I hit the staircase at the end of the hall. As I stepped onto the first stair, I heard it. A soft shuffle, like a foot dragging across carpet. Upstairs, I stopped, listened, drew my weapon, and started climbing. 3 doors at the top. 2 closed, 1 slightly open, the one at the end. I heard the sound again from that direction. Soft, slow, moving. I pushed the door open with my foot. Bedroom, bigger than I expected. Bed unmade, sheets halfway on the floor, and the lamp on the nightstand knocked over. First thing that looked wrong. I checked the closet. Empty. Under the bed. Nothing. Window closed and locked. I cleared the kids' room down the hall. Nothing. Then I reached the bathroom door and I looked down. My heart rate just spiked. I called it over the radio immediately. Expedite backup. Blood on scene. I pushed the bathroom door open. Hit the light with my elbow. Shower curtain. Closed. Streaks of blood on the tile floor leading toward the tub. I moved closer. Yanked the curtain back. The tub was empty, but there was more blood near the drain. Like someone had been standing there bleeding. I swept the bathroom. Nothing. Back through the upstairs. Nothing. Back up still 3 minutes out. And then, from below, I heard it. A floorboard creaking. First floor. Something moving. That feeling like you're being watched. I've had it before, but not like this. I came back downstairs slow. Cleared the living room again. The kitchen. And that's when I noticed something I'd missed the first time. A door near the refrigerator. I'd assumed it was a pantry. Now it was slightly ajar. I was almost certain it had been closed before. It wasn't a pantry. Narrow stairs going straight down into complete darkness. I flipped the light switch. Nothing. Either the bulb was out or the power was cut down there. No way was I waiting upstairs with someone possibly moving around below me. I radioed that I was going into the basement. And I started down. Concrete floors, exposed beams, boxes stacked along the walls, and in the center of the room, a metal folding chair, and on the floor beneath it, a large pool of blood. The chair had zip ties on the armrests, both cut clean through. I swung my light across the rest of the basement, and that's when I caught movement. A figure bolting behind a stack of boxes, heading fast toward the back wall. I yelled for them to stop and sprinted after them. They hit a small window near the ceiling. I heard the glass shatter. By the time I reached that corner, they were already through. I climbed out after them, cut my hand on the glass, and landed in the narrow side yard between houses. Outside, still raining, I could see a dark shape sprinting toward the alley. I chased, turned the corner. Gone! We set up a perimeter. K9 responded. He was never found. The neighbor who called said she heard a woman screaming. We never identified any woman connected to that address. I don't know if I walked in while something was still happening, or if I walked in right after it was already over. If they hadn't knocked over that stack of boxes in the basement, I might have walked out calling it a false alarm. The missing man's case is still technically open. Every now and then, I drive down that street on patrol. A new family lives there now. I see kids' bikes in the driveway sometimes. It's a normal neighborhood, but sometimes the most messed up things happen in the most normal neighborhoods. Okay, so I've been a canine handler for going on 9 years now. My partner? 4-year-old German Shepherd, built like a tank, trained in tracking and narcotics. And let me tell you something, that dog does not spook, ever. I've taken him into pitch black warehouses at 3 a.m. Abandoned houses that smelled like death. Deep woods in the dead of winter. Foot pursuit situation. Officers tried to stop some dude a few blocks away and he just bolted. Took off through backyards, hopped fences, disappeared near this one property. Side gate was found wide open. Back door unlocked. Neighbors heard what sounded like a struggle out back. So yeah, not exactly chill vibes. Patrol had already swept the first floor, but they weren't comfortable calling it clear. The vibe was off. Rex and I pulled up about 20 minutes later. Quiet suburban street, 2-story house, nothing weird from the front. I put Rex on a short leash and gave him the search command. Dude took off immediately. Living room, clear. Kitchen, clear. Laundry room, clear. We hit the stairs. Upstairs was this narrow little hallway. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. No draft, no air movement. Windows all sealed, because apparently the owners were out of town. Rex checked the first bedroom. Second bedroom. Then he yanked hard toward the bathroom at the end of the hall. I stepped in with him. Looked around. Everything clean, nothing out of place. Rex sniffed the vanity, the floor, and then he froze, ears straight forward, body rigid. And then he starts growling. Not at something inside the bathroom. He's staring out into the hallway. Low, slow growls that turned into full-on barking. He was looking at something out there. I stepped back with him into the hall and I said, real quiet, "What is it, buddy?" And that's when I saw it. At the very end of the hallway, right outside the last bedroom door, a figure. Tall, dark, completely, absolutely still, not one of my officers. They were all downstairs, and trust me, they would have said something. I identified myself, loud and clear. Police! K9 is present. Nothing. Dead silence. Then I just straight up go, "Yo, who is that?" Still nothing. And here's where it gets wild. Rex started pulling backwards, away from the figure. I have never, not once in 9 years, seen that dog retreat from anything. He was digging his paws into the carpet like, "Nuh-uh, we are not going down there." And then, the figure just slowly turned and walked into the bedroom. I radioed it in. I may have eyes on the suspect. End bedroom coming up now. I tried to pull Rex forward and he fought me the entire way. He kept looking up at me like, "Bro, why are you doing this? Why are we doing this?" We reached the bedroom doorway. Rex planting his feet, refusing to cross. I stepped in first, weapon raised, heart going 1,000,000 miles a minute. The room was completely empty. Just a bed against the wall. A dresser. That's it. Window closed and locked. Closet empty. No attic hatch. No crawl space. No trap doors. We checked the walls for false panels. We literally knocked on the drywall. Nothing. Rex stayed in that hallway the whole time. One of the other officers tried coaxing him in. He refused, just stood there staring into the room like something was still in there. I've replayed that moment 1,000 times. Part of me still says it was the suspect. Some dude who found a way out we never figured out. But the rational explanation only goes so far when your K9, a dog who has tracked armed suspects without blinking, won't step foot in an empty room. Rex has never acted like that before or since. And I trust that dog more than I trust my own eyes. Every officer's got at least one call they can't explain. That one was mine.